He's back! What's going on, Witchable Promerites, and welcome back to another reaction video. I haven't said that in a long-ass time, but today is a break in the Matrix. Something that we did not expect to happen, but we understand has finally happened. People are calling it the new NSD. And of course, with that, I have to come back as well. I have to see this in full throwback fashion, because not only is this lineup ridiculous, the hype behind it is now getting ridiculous, and it just slowly and slowly started to get better and better along with how many good big artists kept reposting it and announcing it. And the fact that this is only 1 out of 3 comps in the next week is kind of crazy. So guys, we have potentially a big contender, the next big thing in the bass scene, the EDM scene, and maybe even just the rhythm scene. Port Zero is a new collaborative process between Infekt and Bewildered Recordings. And I mean, when Infekt creates a lineup, which he has in the past, he can create a lineup. And we've seen this before with Infekt with his remix compilations and stuff like that. When I saw that Infekt was a part of it, I was not surprised, because this looks ridiculous. And this is only comp 1. We're getting 2 others in the next 2 weeks, guys. This is a very interesting way of just taking over an entire month, because I know for the next week, this compilation is going to be talked about. And then guess what, guys? Boom. I assume next week is the next one. So, I mean, it makes sense, you know, big artists like Dr. Rosie, Ulasile, and now Infekt are creating their own sort of either collectives or just full-on labels, getting big artists or just artists that are close to him on a new project. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys like the new little visuals as well. We got I'm excited to check this out just as much as you are. This is going to be fun. I can't wait to listen to all of this right now. Only 38 minutes and 9 seconds, not even that long of a compilation. I think this is a smart way of getting a bunch of artists shine, but like a lot of artists as well, is actually splitting the compilations. Because when it comes to like those really big compilations, it's kind of hard to obviously remember every song, and it's hard for the artists themselves to shine out themselves individually as well, because it's just such an overload. So when you have like 3 splits of a compilation, I think it makes it easier to individualize the artists. Let's just look at this shipment's lineup here. Ominous, Mad Dubz, Onara and Sanzu, Dexam, Jub is back. I think he's been back for a little bit, but like he's back. Blvnkspvce, Chango, Kenoto, Sora, Infra, and Hacks. So I'm expecting kind of like mostly Square 4, but I think we'll get some dope stuff in here too. Like, I don't expect Square 4 from Kenoto. I just expect Kenoto to be Kenoto. I love Spotted. Hopefully we get the same level with Satellite. But let's start with Ominous, who's an OG. He's a classic for a while. I do like some of his tracks, but at the same time, I'm not big on his style. So here we go. Track 1 is Trust Fund by Ominous. Really catchy intro here. I love the little... Okay. Going right in, huh? I will say, that's a nasty lead. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, this is gnarly. This is gnarly. I expected something a little more old school, to be honest with you, but I like this. I love that kick. Okay, obviously, my opinions on sustains has not really changed much. Cause that's kind of It could be a lot worse though. It's doable, but it's not my favorite thing ever. A double drop too. Oh my, okay. I'm not gonna get over that kick for a while. And I love the stereo noise in the sub bass. Surprisingly impressive start for me. I want my money. I like that free drop. Okay, a little change in the melody. Was that almost sounds like the FNAF 3 sound when you're going into the next night. That's a really cool fill if that's what it is. Appreciate the uniqueness of that sustain, but I'm not, again, too crazy about it as per usual. Nothing's changed with that. Surprisingly strong start here from Ominous. I wasn't expecting really to care. I was kind of getting, like, I was expecting to be a little bored, but to be honest with you, like, this is really sick. This is definitely my favorite song from him in quite some time. I think the last time I even listened to Ominous probably was it was that EP with the pug on it. Unfortunately don't remember the name because I haven't gone back to that EP since. I mean, it was a decent EP. It was a fun listen. But this sounds really good. This sounds a lot more serious, and it's mixed really well too. So that's great. Mad Dubz, Deep Thugger. Getting our synth here a little early. The mixing. Oh, that's so clean. I don't even remember this from his showcase. Is this on the showcase? Ugh. The sound selection of this is really it's nice. That's a nice thick sound, but it's also clean. And then that second synth is a little grittier. And I mean, I'll say it, I like the quarter note aspect. It's pretty simple, but I think if you do it right, it can still sound like complex enough to sound interesting, especially with like percussions and stuff in the back. You can make those stand out more. There's like layers of tonality that you can change the variation in, and it's just a subtle, but I think it does the job. I don't think this the more grittier synth like stands out as much. It sounds a little quieter, but I do like the thickness of it. I do really love songs like these that are very straight to the point, but like the sound itself, it's clearly doing the work, and it's just, that's really all you need, and it's catchy. That really comes down more to just personal subjection. For me, I think, again, this is one of my favorite Mad Dubz songs in a while. I didn't care for his Cyclops recording EP. This stands out a little more, and it's the simpler song. It really is. It's the simpler song. But that clean, crisp sound with that punchy, smooth sub and the drums under as well are what he usually does. And I think he does well, but sometimes he just doesn't really hit right for me. But this did the job. Let's go to the next track, Blood Sacrifice by Onara and Sanzu, two artists that I have never really listened to as much. I know who they are, but I don't know much about them.
The end is not far away now.
Okay. Pretty much what I expected. I like the flow. This is a little more old school. The mixdown isn't as clean as the last two tracks. I like the little percussion fills. And you know what? This variation is actually doing really well. There's a lot of variation here, and it's nice. It's nice, but it's not over the top or anything like that. I think it does it justice. A little second drop fake out. Cheeky. Pretty usual as well. I don't care for this drop as much. I think the variation is still doing it well. And I like the like triplet hats in the back, the faster hi-hats in the back, helping with the space. Okay, that was fine. Probably my least favorite so far, but the second drop was still pretty well done. But I just didn't care for that higher sound, that higher layer, like the higher sounding sound. But the percussion was done really well. I think it was still pretty interesting, not too long. And yeah, so far so good with this compilation, to be honest with you, even though that was my least favorite. Again, probably the sound design. It was done fine. Variation was great, but just, you know, I'm not as big into the old school stuff. I've been hearing really, really good things about this next track, Dexam Torpedo. I just re-listened to the Keygen EP, and I really love Keygen. I actually added it to my playlist. He is clearly talented, so let's see what Dexam has for this one. I did expect this with this, like, rhythm lineup. All these intros kind of having a more atmospheric kind of, you know, thing going on. Nothing too melodic. Oh, I'm getting Slayer vibes now with these drums from the Indefinite comp. Are we going back that way? Okay, yeah, this is kind of old school too sounding. It does remind me of Slayer a lot. It's not really piquing my interest though, I'm afraid. It's kind of that tractor sound design that I'm just not crazy about, unfortunately. The cymbals feel a little overpowering, just a little bit. And this sound is just underwhelming, especially compared to that first one. So it just kind of lowers the energy. I don't care for this where do we flow that much. The intro's really well done though. There's a lot of cool ear candy stuff going on. This is probably the best part of the song. I like when it goes to the does. And then it kind of goes back and forth. That's pretty cool. Ooh. Okay, now this is my favorite part. Well, it was. Again, the variation of this is really strong. Pretty well done if you're into this kind of stuff, like Slayer by Dexam, I think. I mean, at least the intro was. I can't fully tell you how the drop of Slayer sounded, but I feel like it was something similar. Like almost a rock influence there, a little bit, just a little bit, because it's just the drum, it's just the snare choice, really, and a little bit of some rock influence in the intro. But other than that, I mean, it sounds pretty old school, which is, again, not my thing. But I will appreciate this track to its extent where there is good amount of variation. I think the sound design is, you know, it's not boring. It's just not really my cup of tea, unfortunately. So who is next? Okay, I am excited for this. I like Dubz's sound design. I like when he gets, you know, pretty technical. I know he can do a lot of stuff with variation as well. So, and I really like some of his songs. The Akios collab Inferno, which has not officially dropped yet. It probably will never drop ever. My favorite song from him is, I believe, Big Daddy. Also, Warning is very strong as well. So hopefully this new one is just on that level. Because You're Not Q. Love the intro already. I literally just hit the play button. Nice little computerized effects. Probably the most melodic intro so far. We actually have a pad with chords in it. This is definitely the most melodic one so far. Okay, going down in pitch.
You wanna know why? Because you're not Q.
There he is. There he is. I miss this kind of squelchy a little bit style, but it's done just so simplistic, but very well done. The super simple sub is kind of killing me, but it works in this context. More offbeat flow. Okay. The high end might just be a little teeny tiny piercing, especially in this section right here. But it doesn't really bother me that much, but I just noticed it. So I know I was talking to Dubz about variation, and yeah, he does that pretty well here, but it's probably the least variated track, because I think the second drop is literally a copy paste. So that was a little unfortunate, but I still like it than some of the other tracks that I've heard so far. I think the sound design is still good enough. I think the drums are still really well done. And I think the variation in both drops are, you know, they're good. Sorry, hit the mic. I do wish that there was at least a little bit of variation, at least a contrast in between the two drops, because I was getting a little kind of bored at the end. But I still do overall enjoy the track. Okay, everyone's been talking about this one as well. I do love Blvnkspvce and his very computery kind of nasty style. So, but let's see what we got here, because maybe it's a little different. TLM. I don't know what that means, but here we go. Probably the most basic intro of them all. Oh, it is like a square. Okay. Oh, this is very classic. Okay. I wasn't expecting this super classic style from him. Alright, well, that was actually pretty disappointing. It just feels like a festival banger track. Not very much variation going on. I don't care anymore for that square 4. I've heard it a lot. I think with the other square 4s here, at least they had like variation going on, especially compared to this one. It just feels more stale compared to the other tracks on here. Oh man, I mean, I damn near had to skip that whole second drop, respectfully, because it's just kind of the same thing. I did hear some more atmospheres going on. I don't know if that was just me catching it in the second drop, or if he actually added some more atmosphere. That was kind of nice. That was kind of nice. It's still pretty uninteresting, unfortunately. It's just kind of the same shit. Yeah, I mean, I need a little bit more than that, and also when it comes to square 4. And it's just this flow, it already kind of disinterests me. So the fact that it's kind of repetitive over and over again, it just really just loses my interest entirely. We have Chango with Space Monkey. I am not necessarily excited to hear this one, but it could surprise me. So let's go. Sounds like a fucking horror OST or something. Okay. Yeah, I've heard a couple of his tracks, and this is kind of what they sound like. He's in his own lane for sure, but it's not necessarily my cup of tea again. It's not something I would really go back to. I would love this a lot more if that little intro sound kind of came in, like the little guitar chord sounding thing. That would add a lot of cool, that would add a lot of swagger. I like this part a little better, and I really do like the drums. It's still just not, it's not hitting really. Like this intro that's most likely gonna come back. Yeah, that little that shit would be so cool actually playing in the background of the drops. Because it's so simple and it can add so much. Almost like Liquid Rhythm in a way. Was that the whole fake out or I don't even know what that was. That was confusing. This is probably something I'll play like in the background of a video game. Like if I'm playing a game, I just have it playing in the background, like it's fine. Other than that, I really don't show much interest in this track. It doesn't show much interest to me. It kind of treated the same as Blvnkspvce's TLM, but at least this one had like more of a switch up and it was a little more catchy. But other than that, you know, it was all right. It was mixed clean though, at least, which, I mean, I do expect someone who's probably been doing this for a while to at least have that good enough mix down. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm excited to hear this one. Mr. Kenoto, Satellite, let's go.
Ugh, oogie wiggy already. Icky biggy. What? Icky wicky.
I'm glad Kenoto is on a lineup like this. He definitely deserves it. Good old Kenoto. Ugh, the off kick. Oh, I think I've heard this before. Ugh. There's an aura to Kenoto's music. He creates this atmosphere that just so visceral. Ooh, that little off kick again. That was cool. That was damn near like half the track right there. That was really sweet. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected from him, and I'm very satisfied. Maybe the sub could have been a little more thick. You know, maybe a little more just in your face. But that's really all I could think of as in take backs. And my left ear loved that. Bro, why is it only playing in my left ear at points? What the fuck? that on purpose? Oh my god! That was. Why does it play in my left ear? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That's what I needed. That's what I needed. That's what I did. And it's the shortest drop. I think. I don't know. It feels like the shortest drop. The shorter one. Oh, woo! Thank you, Kenoto. Everyone in the chat, everyone in the comments, say thank you, Kenoto. All right. We have Sora with Venom. This should be interesting. I kind of already know what to expect here.
Sora, be careful.
Are we really getting like Sora Square 4 shit? I don't think he usually does that. This is really weak. It's quieter than all the other tracks too. I don't really know about this one. I like the little atmosphere in the back. There's just a weakness in this that just does not hit. The sound design isn't that crazy either. I wish it was just, it's just more powerful. It just sounds really flat. That's my thing. It sounds really flat. And the amount of fake outs just does not make sense. Yeah, that was just flat. That was just all out flat. I think that could have been taken to a whole nother level, but it just did not fall that way, unfortunately. That was just kind of weak. A little weak. Infra with Fiberglass. I don't really listen to Infra like ever, so I don't know what to expect here. I mean, I think I know what to expect, but like I don't listen to them very much. But I know who they are. Okay, I like the that was okay. That's really cool. The name fits perfectly. It literally does sound like Fiberglass. Okay, this is actually pretty sick. The variation isn't too much, but like, I guess sound selection is just, it's so important. It really is. Because we have such a simplistic style, it really is all about the sound, because the way that the song is written and portrayed is all pretty much going to be the same. Okay, it just kind of sounds like the same flow, but it's all just being pitch variated, which, you know, I guess in this case, I'll take it, but maybe I wanted a little bit more. I do like this though. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. The percussion's nice. I actually do like that, like kick clap kind of thing going on. That was actually pretty cool. It didn't do too much, and I mean, the only thing I probably would have wished for in this context is maybe just a quick like quarter note kind of change up a little bit, just kind of going back and forth. I think that would have been pretty cool. It would have made the flow a lot more interesting. I still thought it was pretty interesting. I thought the kind of metallic squelchy sound design in this case was actually pretty well done. It sounded really clean. So yeah, we have one more, guys. You're Too Late by Hacks. I'm not expecting much from this one. I'm not gonna lie. I can already hear the square 4.
It's over. We've been hacked.
There's like a really squelchy layer on the bottom that's kind of helping support the main synth on top. Ooh, the percussion. And there's a little chant. That's cool. Yeah, that was actually a bit better than I thought it would be. Probably still something I wouldn't go back to. But overall, I guess impressive. I like the very sinister intro. I don't care for this section as much. I do appreciate the change up though. It just sounds rougher, but not in a good way. Okay, well, that's the compilation, and I'll tell y'all what, it is kind of what I expected. it's kind of what I expected, but I do love that this is happening. Big names, and like it's just that hype that like NSD gave us with those compilations, like the Black Label compilations. Like this literally looks like a Black Label compilation. Like if Black Label still released today, this would be like the next Black Label XL or something like that. Or you know those compilations that artists created? I think there was an Odd Profit one. I think there was an Ominous one, right? Things like that. Something like this, right? Just it works. It's good for the community to just kind of come together and just release music, you know, instead of everybody being kind of individual. It kind of almost defeats the purpose of like the community, because like we are a community still, and I feel like we've lost that kind of spark. So when all these artists came together and like, yo guys, I'm dropping it, like it's there. Like the Cyclops recording compilations were ridiculously hype, and they kind of almost did the same thing. In this sense, they released 3 comps and they were all like in different genres and formats. Maybe that's the same for this one. Maybe we'll get in the next one we'll get like maybe less Square 4 and maybe like something else of a different, I don't know, maybe they're just completely random. Who knows? I know Hamro still has a song. It sounds like Mob and Deviate as well. Like guys, the lineup, I think the lineups are going to be even better in the next shipments, which makes it even more exciting. Oh, and Joe B is on this comp as well, and in a later shipment. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. And I had some very good impressions on this track. Unfortunately, some stinkers as well. Like the Blvnkspvce track, I was thinking it was gonna be something like oh god, what's it called? Cynical. I was thinking it was going to be something like Cynical, but unfortunately it was not. It was the most boring track on this compilation. I can say the same about Space Monkey and even Venom, or just kind of big stinkers, but everything else was pretty solid. Like even like the Ominous and Mad Dubz songs, who I'm not particularly like a big fan of, but they overall did impress me. I will have to say though, the Kenoto track, without a doubt, no surprise, was probably my favorite track on this compilation, especially that second drop. Just, I mean, it is a standout. It is such a standout compared to everything else in here. I mean, even tracks like Torpedo and You're Too Late, and maybe even the Jub track, I wasn't like too crazy about, but I still found good, impressive points about these tracks, even if they're not personally my cup of tea. So that is the new Infekt and Bewildered Records kind of new label debut, Port Zero. I love the idea of this. It's kind of like this industrial delivering like package kind of thing, like this big old, it almost reminds me of Chromacopia, like with the freaking the big green box, and I don't know, it is a cool idea. The artwork is fire. Love this kind of computerized kind of text and stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to go over the next 2, because I will be making videos of those as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, and of course I will see you all later. All right, bye bye now.